Like Ghanaians are feeling the heat. If you are buying electricity and they are having it for free, if your salary, you are spending 60% of your salary on electricity bills, then you understand what I'm suffering. I am suffering. So Mahama takes us.
See, the funny thing is, we walk around thinking it's our right to electricity.
Isn't it?
It's not a right, it's a privilege.
You look on, but I want to tell you, there are quite a number of you here who are also partners, who are also encouraging corruption. There are some of you here who are agents and who are helping with the corruption. My brothers and sisters, we need the money to develop the country. We need the money to build schools for those who are going to school under trees.
That we can vote people in and out, personalities, okay? But my dear, what we need to do in this country is to establish a situation where even if it was the devil who should come and sit on top of us in Ghana, by virtue of certain procedures, certain practices, the devil cannot get away with doing whatever he wants. He would necessarily have to do what the people expect of him.
Well, these are some of the videos that have gone viral this week on social media when doomsaw has been affecting each and every one of us. And I say one of us because me, my household, we are experiencing it. We are going off and I'm in the heat. And Ghana is very hot. Well, have you been experiencing it? Well, let me know your thoughts. Use a hashtag #TheTrends and as well tweet at me at AJSafwan and tell me all about it. Which area you are in, how frequent the lights have been going off, and most importantly, how you and your family are dealing with it. Now, joining me in the studio to talk about that and a whole lot of other exciting issues that have cropped up on social media this week, I have Tilly Ekwia Nipa. She is a media personality, social media commentator, YouTuber, and everything else inclusive, and a woman who always speaks her mind. Hi, Tilly.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
I like your hair.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, also joining me on the show, a man I've missed, honestly, to have him in the studios giving his thoughts. It is Edem Mensah Tosome. He is a personal relations expert. He is a writer, a manager, a MC, a man that knows his music and his film and his dance and his everything inclusive.
Not a play plus.
He doesn't play plus his food as well. And you didn't come to Gobe Festival. Edem.
Some meeting become proper.
Anyways, we'll leave it here. We'll leave it. That fight, we'll fight it off camera. But hi, Edem. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Fantastic. Have you experienced doomsaw in your house?
Some few times.
Some few times. Yeah. Can you put a schedule to it or not yet?
Not a schedule. Because at times, the day you don't like Accra,
you don't plan on it.
Like Accra Great Olympics. The day you don't expect.
It's the day that's it will.
And the day you think, okay, it can go off, it doesn't go. I mean, and it's not the best. It makes it difficult for you to plan your things. And we need to be told the truth. Today I saw a press statement from ECG saying that they are now done with the transformer problems. They are fixed it. So now, if you have doomsaw, they are saying it is a localized force. So there is a normal to quote.
Okay. We are changing the terminology. It's not doomsaw. It's either localized fault or it's an intermittent power outage.
And it makes it look like what is happening. Gridco is also saying something. Then if you say something, and just a day ago, Gabby posted that there is something mysteriously amiss somewhere.
Very mysterious.
You have managed to keep the lights on for 7 years, even during the height of the economic crisis in 2022. Why now? Still scratching my head. So
we're all scratching our heads.
Yes. And the minister too was asked about it, and he got furious.
Yes, the minister did say
and told us
we should set our own timetable. That's why I'm trying to understand your schedule so that maybe I can set it and help set Tilly's as well.
So even right now, setting my timetable is a problem because it's not coming from me. I mean, I'm not the source. So the source knows what is happening. You know, at times we try to manage information for political, sake. We created the the jargon. I mean Ghanaians. So we know how it is.
It is, explain.
And even the president had then tweeted that if your light, Mr. President, if your light goes off and comes back, it is what? It's doom so. We should stop the semantics and fix the problem. You need to be, in cases like this, you need to be, transparent with the people, let them understand you feel they are plight, and give them hope, rather than just make it look like you don't want to admit there is a problem.
But there is.
That is very irritating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tilly, have you been going off?
Yes, I have been.
Can you set a timetable by how many times you go off?
I wish I could.
You still can't plan your life in.
If I could, I wouldn't be so upset because then I would have found a way, and then now I'll know how to fix myself in accordance to the scriptures that I will create per the no doom so that is happening. But for some time now, I think about 2 days, I've had very, very little occurrence of doom so, and for some reason I feel guilty. I feel like, hey, have you forgotten?
Are they prepping
that kind of thing? So I'm beginning to feel, hey, maybe really it's not my rights like that. It might have just been a privilege. Like they are really stressing us as Ghanaians. But it also goes a long way. Especially when I watch the minister, the way his position, his demeanor, and the things he was saying about the doom. So you can really see that it looks like our leadership now, especially as in the MPP leadership, is more concerned about proving a point to the NDC, who will not vote the MPP in power, than the Ghanaians who are actually going to vote them, who might possibly vote them in power. Like they are keen on proving a point to those people and politicizing everything and trying to make it look like we've done better than you, so much so that they are not willing to face the truth when it comes to how the actual Ghanaian feels about the MPP and the ruling government now. There is something wrong. Whether you want to call it doom so or so doom, there is a problem. And there is a problem now. It's making the average Ghanaian very uncomfortable in this country. At least the least you can do, whether you want to call it doom so or not, the least you can do is to make them know how to continue their life and how to do a schedule. That way, everybody wins in the process. True. If I know that my light is going to be off at 12 p.m., I know that I have to wake up before that and do everything before that. So whilst you are fixing the problem that you claim is not existent, then at least you are not destroying my business in the process. But because you are so keen on proving a point to the opposition that we said the country was not good, so we took it from them and we gave it to you. You are so keen on satisfying your promises and your propaganda against them so much so that you are making we that we voted for you so unhappy in the country. So at what point would they speak truth to themselves? And I feel like that is another thing that is really letting the MPP down and their government down. They cannot speak the truth to themselves. Like when there is a problem and the Ghanaian is saying that this is the problem, they are saying that, nah, what's the way you but maybe say like it's like, why are you doing this to us? But the doomsday thing is a big problem here in Ghana. And the earlier they actually act a bit sympathetic towards our needs, the more we can see that there is a problem they are willing to solve. But if they assume this cocky position, whenever a question is thrown at them, and is it told?
Thrown at them, yeah.
It's thrown at them. A question is thrown at them, then it becomes very problematic, and it makes it look like you know our plight, but you are just doing this to sort of disrespect the country, make it look like we don't know what we are facing in our own homes. They should really sit up.
I like that. Now, how difficult has it been for you navigating? I think the biggest part about it is when we go off in the evenings. During the day, you can figure yourself out. You can step out, but when it's at night and it goes off and the heat that comes with it.
You've been caught in the
Oh my God. Yesterday it rained. And yesterday for the first time, I said, okay, honestly, if doom so will happen, let it happen yesterday. So that at least it's raining, it's chilled. If I open my windows, I'll still be good. So that was honestly my prayer, that if it will go off, let it go off. But if it will go off today, the empire me.
They were monitoring you.
Have you realized the pattern of behavior with these bosses with the electricity thing? Whenever they say something out of sheer cockiness, then they release a press statement to make it look like that's not what they meant. I don't know why they do that, because it's like you were very arrogant when you were talking, because you felt like, oh, You
are
are saying what you are saying, and then you come back to make it look like we misheard what we heard. And what kind of? It's like you are just playing with us in this country. Sure. Why is that? And they spend a lot of time trying to correct the PR than actually thinking about what they will say, so that the Ghanaian who is watching and is being affected by the actual situation on the ground will actually feel like, okay, at least they know the problem and they are doing something about it. That's cocky position of these our leaders. It is making everything unbearable. And the constant PR, the way they invest in PR, they should invest in the problem.
Well, let's take a look at the video that went viral and sort of led a lot of people to feeling a little disgruntled about the response, especially from the energy minister himself. Take a look.
If you are buying electricity and they are having it for free, if your salary, you are spending 60% of your salary on electricity bills, then you understand what I'm suffering. I am suffering. So Mahama takes us.
Would it reflect in the 2024 election? Would it be something that people will stand on to vote?
If you are comparing
The energy sector, the current power cuts. Some people are saying that you made mention of this. You use this as a campaign against John Mahama, and now we are experiencing a worse situation under President Akufo-Addo. Would it reflect in the 2024 election? Would it be something that people will stand on to vote?
if you are comparing 4 years, MPP administration, energy sector is 300 times better than John Mahama.
But we are still experiencing doom so.
Nobody has said we haven't. I'm just saying it's far much better than John Mahama ever did.
You do admit that there's doom so.
That is the word you used. I have never used that word. I've promised you that we are going to work on it. And it's not a work that is a single event. It's a process. And we'll continue to work on it for the energy sector to become better.
Have you heard of calls for a timetable?
Ask those who want it to bring it.
They should bring the timetable.
If there is, I haven't seen any timetable. So when
But people are calling for it.
say bring a timetable, what do you mean? The ECG says that there's no timetable coming. Why do you want to bring a timetable? What purpose? Why would somebody get up and wish evil or bad for the country? When it is not planned, you can't tell the person. Were you in Ghana under John Mahama? Did you live in this country under John Mahama? Did you live in this country under John Mahama? Did you? I'm asking a question. Did you live in this?
It was equally worse.
It cannot be equally worse.
MPP use it as a tool against them.
And I'm saying
Well, yes. So that is our energy minister stating on record that those that want a timetable are wishing evil and bad for the country. And of course, telling us all that if we want a timetable so badly, let's create it. Now, have you gotten enough data based on how your lives have been going on for the last few days or few weeks to create a timetable to that effect? Well, let us know. Use the hashtag #TheTrends or tweet at me at AJSapon. But it brings to bear how people play politics in this country. So a lot of times we've seen certain topics being used as political points, maybe doomsaw, exchange rate, education, petrol, water, prices of goods and services, inflation, as well, even to the point of maybe how much you even pay for certain amenities, all come to play when it comes down to scoring political points. Yeah. And you will state and stand on a fact and say, okay, because you moved it from this point to this point, you are horrible. But then when I come in and I end up moving it to a further point, you should understand. Because, I mean, the dynamics were different. Things changed. The world happened. Socio-economic problems came to bear. How do you feel when you see these points being scored?
It's one of the reasons we are not moving forward as a country. I mean, it shouldn't be someone was at 2, someone moving to 3. It should be about the need of the people at the time. You understand? You now want to compare. I mean, Doomso has been with us from
time memorial.
Yeah.
I remember from 96, really.
Kufuor, at a point, yes. Kufuor even had JJ's time.
JJ's time, there was light off.
Kufuor's time, he even took some men of God
Yes,
to
to
Akosombo.
Akosombo to pray.
You know, so it's been
So it's something that
chronic
happens. It's a
problem.
perennial problem.
Now somebody comes, it becomes worse because of the foundations not being right. Then the person brings in a lot of power
Badges
plants.
and all that, yeah.
Now you are here.
You get to benefit from that.
You get to benefit from that. You are not investing a lot in bringing power badges and other things to be able to stabilize the situation. You have a single duty to ensure that what it is needed to power these things are done to fix. Now you go back to where we were and you want to compare. I mean, it's not about what you have been able to do, but it's about the demands of the time. You understand? So something has been done. Build on and let's go. But you want to look back and do this comparison. That is why African
And that's the reason why we even voted them out in the first place.
So they don't do more for us because of some of this. I mean, a little mediocre. Because of some of these, we do not want to even look at the bigger picture. When it comes to certain situations, we want to compare other countries. But when it comes to some situations and the citizens want to compare, they say, no, we are not like that.
Yeah.
I mean, so we need to be positive. We need to look at the bigger picture. And we need to provide according to what the people want. Because it could be that, let's say, like, you want to compare, like, Kwame Nkrumah's time to this point for a demand for something. Clearly, you know the numbers.
We were like, what, 10, 15 million then, and we
numbers,
doubled in size.
Everything are different. So
population, yeah.
if you say, okay, Kwame Nkrumah's time, we were able to provide 2 bottles of water, and now we've provided 3. I mean, look at the time, the space of time, and look at the population now. That is not what we have to look for. We need to look at the exigencies of the time. And based on that, we say, okay, we've been able to cover it to the demands, rather than looking at the past and, appointing figures, doing some of these things. I mean, it doesn't help. We need to elevate our political discourse beyond these things and put the people at the center.
I like that, Natalie. Should people advise, and when I say people, I mean both political divides, both the MPP, the NDC, the Third Force, Afafranto, all of them. Should they be more circumspect? What?
Cheddar.
Cheddar is Third Force. I mean, New Force. Afafranto is Movement for Change.
Alan Chairman.
Yeah, Alan Chairman is called Movement for Change.
Yeah.
Yes, or LPG or PNC or CPP or whoever that will be coming in. Be more circumspect about using certain things that can go not only against the political party in power, but also against you. Because sometimes you would say things like, if the exchange rate falls, the fundamentals are weak. Yeah. But then it can happen to you. You would hope it doesn't happen to you, but it can happen to you.
But
should people stop playing? Oh, it's happening. We are
a new definition comes.
It's when 13, 14, 15, then we come back to 10. I'm praying they come back to 10. 10 that we can work with. Anyways, beside the point, should people stop playing politics with certain things that can easily go south in their regime?
They should, but they can't.
Why?
Because it's politics. That is the purpose of it.
But then you don't set yourself up for dragging.
You remember? They should, but they can't. And instead of them using that, the reason I am saying that they should do it is because they should rather look at the bigger picture. What can we do to actually solve this kind of problem? What is the bigger picture in the next 10 years? If we want to stabilize our city, what can I do or what can we do? Yeah. And what can we use to promise the people that this is one thing that it has been a problem with different political parties and different governments, but our time we will do it. If it is about the dollar beating the city, in the long term, this thing is not something that can be fixed in the short term. In the long term, what can we do? What are some of the measures that constantly ensures that the dollar is beating the cities in our country? Is it because there's more import and less export? That kind of thing. So if the leadership of this country, they are concerned about the bigger picture, they don't have time to go and use things that could actually beat them in the future as propaganda. But clearly, they are always stuck in the moment. What they need or what they think is affecting the common Ghanaian now and how they can use that to score political points. That is all they care about.
Yeah.
So instead of them actually looking at the problem or getting a team that can look at the bigger picture for about 10 years plan, and you see that is the reason why we keep going in bits and pieces and we'll never get there, because We've never gotten leaders who look at the future and see how they can solve a problem that has been disturbing us into the future. They are always stuck looking for ways they can use this person's weakness as their what do you call, as a weapon for winning. And that is how come you see MPs promising roads and things like that when they even know that it is not part of their mandate. Now the MP, the road is still spots, and the MP is being dragged. Meanwhile, he promised his people that I will fix the road, knowing very well that this MP that was in power, that I'm saying I will fix the road, he can't fix it. I cannot fix it. It is not my job either. But I will use it because, first of all, the common Ghanaian is not educated enough to know that the thing you are using as a propaganda tool against the other party, even you, if you don't take it, you cannot solve it. So what can you do that we actually will help us and we know you can do? Say it. But the common Ghanaian does not know that this even doom sort thing, it might be something that will be facing for a very long time. They don't even know that this dollar thing, if proper care is not taken,
is it that there's no honesty? But I'll come to that because we're going into some tweets, because you have been talking quite a bit on social media about Doomsaw and its related developments. Of course, we did see that Tema General Hospital was also trending high on it because there was an issue with the lights going off at the Tema General Hospital. There was allegedly a child, a baby passing on due to lack of oxygen, being in an NICU. However, the hospital came out to put a statement that there was no child or there was no fatalities. However, the parents, on the other hand, have also gone on to now speak about losing their child because of lack of electricity. But let's go into the social media commentary because you have been talking on social media. So this is a tweet from 2015 from the now Minister of Communication and Digitalization, Madam Ursula Wusu. So she said, a Ghana has a John. It has a big doom and a very small saw. Latest Doomsaw nursery rhyme. How many years later? 9 years later, we're still there. Well, this is their Yvonne Nelson tweeting about Doomsaw must stop. It features Ursula Wusu. It features now Minister of Energy, Honorable Matthew Opoku Ajiman, aka known as Matthew Opoku Prempe, aka Napo, in the shots there. And yes. Well, moving on to the next one. The Great says, if you compare lives under this current government to previous governments, you will understand this current government has done very well. NDC government, 4 solid years without want. Okay, that's your opinion. I don't think it was 4 years, though. It was, I think the last 2 years of their regime is the one that we've experienced a lot of light of. But Dr. Rancho 1 says he wants to be vice president, then graduate to president. Even at ground level, he's not willing to take responsibility and be accountable. Or what happened if you give him such an opportunity? And that's in relation to Napo, who has clear ambitions of being vice presidential candidate. Is the sheer weight of the political pettiness that is visible, documentary schedules for light rotation, which is much needed, will provide a key variable of equalization equation because it's perfectly satisfy one variable for Doomsaw to be typed at the government's business. Hey, Alfred Chidi Tamaklo, thank you. Next tweet we have from Mr. Bean, who says, it's sad how these people think they're doing the members of this country a favor. Very true. Very, very true. Moving on to the next, Bizgoud says, I agree. That's how it's done here in the States. We get email, text, or some sort of notification before we experience such things. And that's what we're asking for, isn't it? Deaf Kid says, this Ghana, everything is greedy before everything is met. They need to see demo before they become serious, just like Mahama's time. Fear Tomorrow says, Ghana belongs to the NPP. Okay. And yeah, so those are some of the conversations being had on social media. Please add your thoughts as well.